Wolf Den Connection and the night edition. Let's see. Let's find. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Search. There we go. And still alive. Join us tonight. So happy New Year's Eve. My husband and I, we don't ever go anywhere for New Year's Eve. Kind of happy just being home and with our pets and bundled up in the warmth of blankets and watching a little bit of TV. I'm going to turn this down a little bit because that's just way too bright. All right, let me put this, whoops, trying to stay organized here. All right, welcome to the study of a Bible in a year. We're not reading the Bible word for word. We're doing a topical study, and our subject for this new week of the 14th is patience. Now, remember I told you that last week, or 2 weeks ago, we were holding on to our joy with two hands, right? Well, then I said I was wishing that I had a peace sign so I could hold on to my peace with two hands. And as I was cleaning the room today, look at this, I found 3. I wish I would have had these for last week so that I could have used them as a prep. But I told you I had peace signs somewhere in this house, somewhere. I know I did. I just happened to find them when I was cleaning. So if you watched my live this morning, and I may have alluded to it last night, but I'm not sure. I was going to start cleaning this room, and I had such high hopes that I could do it all in one day. That didn't happen. I got a lot done. Like, I can see my closet now. When I used to sit at this desk, there was this pile of stuff almost to the ceiling. And yes, some of the stuff is migrated out to the garage. Some of it's currently sitting in the living room right now. But my goal was to get everything exited out of here so I could get things organized and set up better. So I did a lot today, and then I blessed my husband with a dish organizer thing to put over the sink. That was his last surprise Christmas gift that he didn't know he was getting. And so I did take a break from the room to do that, that was only like half hour worth of putting things together and taking them back apart because they didn't fit together right. Yeah, that was, it was not a fun project, but it's done and it's there and it's up and ready to use. So, all right, we're starting a new week, but first let me get our 5 statements done. Number 1, I possess the mind of Christ and I am a clear thinker. Number 2, I am promised a full life in Christ. Number 3, I walk in victory because I am victorious in Christ. Number 4, I am not helpless. God is my continual helper. Number 5, I am protected by God and the enemy must flee. So I have lost my sign somewhere in the midst of all of this. There it is. So I was sharing this morning. It says, I am not responding to that. And that's what I am protected by God and the enemy must flee. And I was sharing this morning and I said, I'm not giving any energy to the enemy in 2026. Not wasting my emotions on the enemy because all he is a liar. He's just a liar. He can't tell the truth. He just lies. And so I'm not giving any of my energy to the enemy. I'm giving everything to the Lord. I'm putting every ounce of energy I have into doing what the Lord has called me to do. So I'm hoping and wishing that you will do the same. And if you get the opportunity, go back and look at what I posted earlier this morning. It wasn't our normal. It was about learning to pray, declare, and decree. It was a pretty good thing that I read from something that somebody else had posted. So, all right, it is a new week. So I get to read the stuff that goes with it. So let me just put my little bookmarker in here. All right, patience, the synopsis. Patience is the spiritual fruit that enables us to endure difficulties with grace and trust in God's timing. It reflects God's own patient nature and his work in conforming us to Christ's image. Growing in grace. James points to farmers waiting for harvest as a model of patience. James 5:7-8, reminding us that some of life's most valuable outcomes require patient endurance. Like crops that can't be rushed, character development and spiritual growth happen in God's timing. Hi, Eleanor. Happy New Year's Eve. The presence of patience is a fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22 shows us that it's not primarily a human achievement, but a divine work within us. As we allow the Spirit to work, patience grows naturally, like fruit developing on a healthy tree. Paul's instruction to be patient in affliction, Romans 12:12, acknowledges that patience is often developed through challenging circumstances. These difficulties become opportunities to demonstrate and develop patience when viewed through the lens of faith. The wise teacher observes that the end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Ecclesiastes 7:8. This connects patience with wisdom and humility, reminding us that quick solutions aren't always the best solutions. God's patience with us, 2 Peter 3:9, serves as both our model and motivation for being patient with others. Having experienced God's patient work in our own lives, we're equipped to extend the same grace to those around us. This week, let's view situations that test our patience not as interruptions, but as opportunities for growth, remembering that God is at work both in us and in those around us. The blessing for this week is, may God grant you the patience to trust his timing this week, finding grace for each moment of waiting. So I was joking earlier that, so we went from joy to peace, and the enemy tried to steal my joy, and then he tried to steal my peace. And is he going to steal my patience this week? I'm going to do my best not to. I'm not responding to that. All right, here's our 3 reflections for this week. 1, what regularly tests your patience? Write down one specific way you could prepare differently for this situation this week. Wow, that's a lot of things that I could write in that little tiny 4 lines of space. Who do you need to show more patience towards? What one attitude or response could you adjust this week? This is going to be a hard week. I'm just telling you, I wasn't prepared for this. What a way to start out the new year. Where could you practice patience in a small way today? Choose one situation where you'll intentionally wait without rushing. Okay, so I can answer that one. This room, I gotta turn my heater up. It's getting way hot in here. This room, I really wanted to get it done, and I'm a little impatient about it because it's one of those things I just want to get done and checked off my list. And I really wanted to have it done before the new year started. But you know what? I have to have patience with myself and my body. My body said, nope, we're not doing anymore. My back was really starting to hurt. And I'd been at it for, I think I started, I looked at the clock, it was 11:30. 12:30, 1:30. I started at 1:30, really diligently working on it, and I stopped at 5. I took tiny little breaks here and there, but I really did work on it in the kitchen from 1:30 until 5. And then I looked at my desk and I'm like, oh no, I had stuff piled on the chair. I had my desk covered. I had all these books that are supposed to be in the bookshelf that is on its side right now. I was like, oh, I was done, but I still had to finish doing that because it had to get done. So, all right, boy, you can hear the fireworks going off tonight. It's not even close to midnight yet. All right, we're going to look up James chapter 5, verses 7 and 8. It's funny because I was looking at Ecclesiastes the same time I was looking at that. We're doing Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 also at some point, but that was kind of weird that it's the same verses. All right, James 5 in the NIV, verses 7 and 8. I have to sneeze. Phew, excuse me. I sure stirred up the dust today, I'll tell you. But I got a lot of stuff sorted and put away, which was really kind of cool. Wait. 5, 7, and 8. I was skipping a page. Okay. Patience and suffering is the title of this one. Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. I'm going to read a little bit further. You too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. Brothers and sisters, as an example of patience in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. As you know, we count as blessed those who have persevered. You have heard of Job's perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy. So patience in suffering. That's easier said than done. I know some people in my life that are going to do some really hard things, and it's so hard to watch. But you know that God turns all things to good. And anything that the enemy stole from you, the Lord will return to you sevenfold. You have to believe that. So when you're going through the hardest, most difficult parts of your life, you have to understand, be patient. You know what? I'm going to look up the word patient. This is what we do in our morning live, but just so we get a right perspective. If I had written this book, I didn't though, I would have made sure that we had the meaning of these words. Okay, so patience, the capacity, habit, or fact of being patient. Patient, bearing pain or trials without complaint, showing self-control, calm, steadfast despite opposition, difficulty, or adversity, persevering. Oh my goodness. Pastor would love to have heard that. Patient, bearing pain or trials without complaint. Wow. See, I'm really glad that we went and looked up that definition. Staying calm, showing self-control. Just understanding and pushing through when you know that God's in control, that helps you understand that he is making a way when you can't see a way. So I'm going to read a couple things in patience here too. Never think that God's delays are God's denials. Hold on, hold fast, hold out. Patience is genius. Patience, why, it is the soul of peace. Of all the virtues, it is the nearest kin to heaven. It makes men look like gods. The best of men that ever wore earth about him was a sufferer, a soft, meek, patient, humble, tranquil spirit, the first true gentleman that ever breathed. A patient, humble temper gathers blessings that are marred by perseverance and overlooked by the aspirant. That one I don't like. I don't know. If we could have a little patience, we should escape much mortification. Time takes away as much as it gives. And one last one. Many people consider patience a commonplace virtue, not to say a tame and insipid one, but rightly appreciated, it is grand and heroic. Without it, the strongest character has a dangerously weak spot, which at any moment may be its ruin. With it, the otherwise weakest has an element of invincible strength. Patience, wow. Patience can be quoted to be invincible strength. Wow. So that's the other thing that we do in the mornings too. We look it up in this book. So, okay, let's read that in the Message Bible. So verses 7 and 8. Meanwhile, friends, wait patiently for the master's arrival. You see farmers do this all the time, waiting for their valuable crops to mature, patiently letting the rain do its slow but sure work. Be patient like that. Stay steady and strong. The master could arrive at any time. And then I want one more thing. I want to read it in the Passion Translation, and then I will let you go. I'm going over a little bit this evening. Oh, but that's okay because we started a new chapter or a new week. So you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I like to keep these at 10 minutes, but once a week they usually go a little bit longer. Why can't I find James? James, why are you not? It's such a small book. Small book. Is it after? Yeah, it's after Corinthians. Do 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 do. Oh, where is it? Hang on. James. Oh, it's because it says James and then Jacob. That's why I looked right over it. All right, James 5, verses 7 and 8. Meanwhile, brothers and sisters, we must be patient and filled with expectation as we wait for the appearance of the Lord. Think about the farmer who has to patiently wait for the earth's harvest as it ripens because of the early and latter rains. So you also keep your hopes high and be patient, for the presence of the Lord is drawing close. Patience, patience, patience. I know I said it's going to be a hard week, but it's going to be a good week, because what can we glean from this? It'll be amazing. All right. I hope you guys have a great evening. Be safe if you're going out for New Year's tonight. Stay warm and cozy. I think it finally stopped snowing, but it was snowing quite a bit here today. So hopefully it has lessened itself out. But anyhow, I hope you join me tomorrow night for the first of the year. We'll be on day 2 of week 14. We'll be reading Galatians 5:22. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.